Welcome again to our YouTube channel, and today we are going to be discussing about the kind of structures that we can put in place in our vermicomposting and vermiculture process. Work with me so that we can be able to discuss and see the kind of structures that we have in place and what you can be able to put in place for your vermicomposting process. So when we talk about coming up with a structure for our worms, there are a number of things that we put in mind or we have to think around so that we can be able to see which is the best structure to construct or to come up with, putting in mind matters to do with cost, matters to do with location, matters to do with capacity, and also security. So when putting up a structure, the first thing that we have to think about is what are the threats when it comes to our vermicomposting process. This can be the predators, this can be the environmental conditions, and the materials also to compost. So when putting up a structure, one thing that we have to think around are the structures or the worms or the materials to compost safe from direct sunlight, which will easily denature the nutrients. Or second, is it going to rain, which also will affect the same. So when we have that in mind, we come up now with the structure, and that is why in our structure here we have a roof or a shade which is now protecting the worms and the structure from direct sunlight, which are the direct rains, which will affect. Second, we have to think where are we going to put the worms. So when putting our worms and the materials to compost, this is where we place our worms, and we have done this structure because of the issues to do with the predators around. So in this region, we have a lot of safari ants, which are the biggest threat, and we have done this structure so that we can be able to safeguard our worms from these threats. And second, we have also done this structure to save on space and also to maximize our production, and also depending on the materials that we get. So in our case here, we are using a lot of cow dung and plant waste, and because of that, we had to put up a structure which will be able to hold these materials, and also which would be able to compost all these materials and make sure that the worms are safe. So what we do, we construct these wooden beds, and then we have to put a polythene sheet inside, so that now these will be able to hold all the moisture and all the materials without the wood getting to be spoiled or to start decomposing. So once we did that, now we are able to place all the materials that we are composting, and the worms will easily do that. So these are the structures that we have to put in mind. So in other areas, we are able to do structures like a windrow system. This is where we heap all the materials and then we introduce the worms. In other areas, we do bin systems, and a bin system is basically a small system for a person or a farmer without a lot of materials to compost. These can be kitchen scraps, just a small amount of cow dung or animal droppings. So these are the kind of structures that we can put in place when we are looking at either vermiculture and vermicomposting. And basically, the windrow system is the system that we can say carries a lot of materials to compost. So if you are looking at huge composting, vermicomposting processes, we look at windrow system and the bed system, putting in mind the issue of threats and predators. So once we have that in mind, or we have that in place, we can easily start a composting process and be able to run. So those are the matters that we put in place when all the things that we look at when we are doing the structuring for our worms. Thank you. Keep running with us and watch out for the next episode.
Comfort, worms and insects, tunaishi pamoja. Sisi ni wakulima, tunaishi na ardhi, tunajenga kesho mikono yetu imari. No cap, hii ni legacy yetu.